Hi you guys. So online lately I've noticed people talking about reference books and their libraries of reference books, and I thought I would go over mine, and I just quickly pulled out the books that I've kept over the years, and I kind of got a lot of them. So I'm going to start at one end of the table. This might be a long video, or I may choose to break it up into several parts. So I'm going to go over things that are really high level pretty quickly. If something sticks out to you, you want more information about it, about the book, the author, etc., let me know, and I will show you more about that book. So let's start down here. We'll clear a place, we can put the books. So I have things set up in how to do things kind of area, how to make things, plant identification, maps, and geography, those kinds of things. So let's just go through my little piles here. So one of my first book is the Alaska Bootlegger's Bible. It talks about how to make beer, wine, liquor, moonshine, whiskey. An old Alaskan tells you how it's done. And the reason I have that, other than the obvious, is that Alaska alcohol can be a gas. This book takes you through how to make alcohol from a still that can be used in a modern day motor engine. I also, in that same vein, have directions for a gasifier. And then I've got a small radio, and this is just kind of a for dummies shortwave radio guide. EPA water purification instructions, the many ways to disinfect water, including boiling, using household bleach, and pool shock, which I'll get into a video on, because that's an incredibly easy way to store disinfectant for a very long term in a very safe manner. And of course, I'm sure all of you guys have these kinds of manuals. I don't need to say much about that. I also have some wilderness living. This is actually how I got started into prepping, is I was a backpacker. I still am a backpacker that wanted to know more about backpacking. Home in the Woods, How to Stay Alive in the Woods. This was the first book I ever bought. And I'm not sure how to say the last name, Anger. Anyway, you know this name because this guy, Vera and Bradford, are like gods in this Bushcraft field. Ultimate Guide to Survival Living, How to Live on Pennies a Day in the Woods. These are interesting because they give pictures on how to do things, how to make traps, how to make cordage in this case, snowshoes, just a whole bunch of stuff, which I just think is a blast when I'm camping. I bring one of these books and I make gear myself, so that's kind of fun. And then these books, The Way Things Work. This is from an Illustrated Encyclopedia of Technology. This is from the 70s, I think. I got all of these books used or copied them, and they were given to me at no cost if I Xerox them, other than the cost of Xeroxing. Yeah, I think it's from the 80s. But 70s or 80s, but this gives me a good basis on how things do work, so I can understand, and if I can understand, I can recreate if I have the parts and the tools. So here's a quick look at table of contents, and there's 2 books in this set. Got that, I think, from Powell's thrift store. I got it online. And then I have a lot of books on medicine. This is Ditch Medicine. This is a great book. This was my field before I retired, medical advisor. Alternative medicine. I got this book, Wilderness and Travel Medicine, from a surgeon I worked with that went to a conference. Who went to Alaska a lot and brought his skills with him. And then I also have another copied book that he has, same kind of thing, Wilderness and Travel Medicine. So I've got these as references. You guys, I'm sure, have heard of the Foxfire books. I have the books in paperback, but I also have a DVD, or CD, I guess. Herbs, how to make potions and home remedies. This book is kind of cheesy. It's not a really good book. I'm not even really sure why I keep it around. It's from, Jerry Baker. He's a great gardener. He wrote this book as well. He was a better gardener than potion maker, but this is a good book that he wrote. I've got Western gardening. I'm in the West, in the Pacific Northwest. Cheese making. I make cheese. Southern living, little jars, big flavors. I got this as a gift. I don't even think I've opened it up. I should probably toss it. All right, identification, tree finder. I can't remember, was it Dave Canterbury? Somebody like that once said, you can identify a lot of herbs, but they're not around year-round, but trees are always around, so learn your trees before you learn other things. Edible wild plants. This has been very interesting and useful, and this doctor actually teaches classes in the Oregon area and will take people out on food hunts, and then you gather up everything, sit down at night, make a meal out of it. Weeds of the West. This is one of our Bibles. Encyclopedia of Gardening, and more healing home remedies, which I do use that one. All right, pocket box, miscellaneous, the book of lists. This is a book of lists. What should go into your packs, where to get things, stuff like that. I don't know if I've actually looked at it because I'm pretty confident on my lists. We got an axe. The axe book came with it, but it does have some interesting information in it. Like a fun thing to have around. All right, here's an old book. If Hoople's cat is watching, Hooples, I'm sure this is a book much like the one that you recently reviewed that's full of bad information, but it's just so cheesy and kitschy, I just had to keep it. So anyway, pretty funny. Country Living, Encyclopedia of Country Living, with a lot of good information in here. I really like it. Homesteading, another one of these kind of cheesy books that I'm sure one of my family members bought for me, but it's got pretty pictures, although it didn't teach me all that much. But oh, look at that. Very cute. All right, getting near the end, you guys. I don't know where all my fishing books went, so I'm just down to my trout and stream fishing strategies. We know a lot about fishing, fish a lot, so probably they just kind of got lost in moves and stuff because we didn't feel like we needed them anymore. All right, so I have a lot of books on bicycling and hiking in the Pacific Northwest, California, Idaho, Nevada. And the reason I have these books is, one, I like to bicycle and hike, but I also think that hiking trails are really, and bicycling trails, are an underutilized resource if one ever needed to bug out. How you can get out of a town or an area of the state if the roads are blocked and the highways are blocked. Even the campground books are really helpful. So I think like I said, it's an underutilized resource. Get some, or learn the areas that are around you. Let's go start recamping. And then, of course, maps. This is like, I get so many maps. I've got them everywhere. I like maps, paper maps. I keep them and get new ones every year and then recycle them through. This is a map of the Pacific Crest Trail that's folded backwards. And then, of course, the detailed topo maps, BLM land maps. I bought this from the library. It was a year old. That's for Oregon. I got this from the library. It was a year old for California. And then I've got a random chicken health book, which is pretty funny, but I do reference that. And then, let's see, over here I have an almanac, geography almanac, as just kind of a miscellaneous book. It's good to know where things are in the world, because when somebody talks about Bolivia, sometimes in your mind you just can't pull up where that is in the world, especially if you're from the United States, which is sad, but they didn't teach us a lot of geography in school, so you have to learn it on your own. And then finally, I'm a great believer in dogs and training dogs, so we have quite a few. I have a Labrador Retriever. You guys have seen Sarah. She's half Lab and half Border Collie. Caesar Milan. Love Caesar. Look at those babies. 1,000 Hounds. Just another dog book. And the difficulty of being a dog. I think this is one of those books that makes you cry if you read it. So that's my book library. I also have a magazine library, which I will show to you guys in another video. But again, please let me know if you want me to drill down on any of my books and show you more about a particular book, especially if you're thinking about buying it. So that's what I've got for now. Thanks for watching.